I'm Rabbi Daniel Lappin with a little more ancient Jewish wisdom in answering the questions that you ask here at Cornerstone on Ask the Rabbi. Here's one that a fellow sent me. How do I discourage my son from going to Cancun with his friends for spring break? I'm not crazy about this group of friends, and to tell you the truth, I think they're a bad influence on my son. He knows this, but he wants to go anyway to have some fun. And this is from Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Thank you very much indeed for a great question, Patrick. And again, I know the pain and concern that you're feeling. You are worried that your son is in with a bad group of people who have a tendency, particularly on this kind of break, to cut loose and to perhaps your son will find himself influenced. Very, very worrying. Look, here's what I want to explain to you, and I want to explain it to you in terms that I hope you'll be able to sit down with your son, Patrick, and explain it to him as well, okay? Here it is. In ancient Jewish wisdom, the word for journey, any trip, any travel, any expedition of any kind whatsoever, is always fraught with moral potential. It can either raise you or lower you. And so, for instance, we find that in Genesis chapter 13, Lot decides to leave Abraham, to leave this closeness to God that he had in the home of Abraham, and he takes himself off, like, to all places. What sort of places? To Cancun. That's where Lot is going. Fine. In the Bible, it's called Sodom, but you get the idea, right? And what happens? It says, and Lot journeyed from the east. It says Lot journeyed from the east, that's right. But the translation from the Hebrew sometimes says to the east, because geographically, going to Sodom from where Lot was to the east, but it doesn't say that in the Hebrew. You know why? Because in Hebrew, east means also the spiritual origin, like the place where the sun shines. And the idea here is that Lot is going on a journey that is of a bad spiritual consequence. That's not the only case. Judah leaves his brothers and goes off, and he has a bad marriage, not good things happen. And the language that is used in Genesis chapter 38 is, and Judah descended from his brothers. It says it explicitly. Do you think that's because his brothers were on a hill and he went downhill? No, it's not about geography. It's spiritually and morally. Judah descended. He went down from the moral level where his brothers were. How about Samson? Book of Judges, chapter 14. You've got to look up this one. Show it to your son. This is one is knowing Cancun. This one is really applicable. And Samson spots a woman on the beach in Cancun. I mean, Timnah. Same difference. And he says to his parents, you know, I want her. And he goes, and it says, and Samson went down to Timnah. See again? It's a descent. Journeys have the potential of being uplifting or dragging one down. And that is a very real peril all the time. And so one of the things I think you want to stress with your son is that he's going on a journey. A journey means you're away from your home, it's away from your family, it's away from people who love you and care for you, and it induces a feeling of anonymity. The danger is of a moral deterioration. And ask him whether this is really a good thing to be doing with his life at this point of his life. And I've got a feeling that if you show him those biblical references, he'll see that this is not a time to go down from his brothers or down to Timnah or away from his family on the way to Sodom or Cancun. So I hope that works out, Patrick. Perhaps you'll have a chance to write and let me know. I'm Rabbi Daniel Lappin, praying that the good Lord blesses you with good health and prosperity. The rest, up to you.